I was recording out at Sunset Sound, and they were like, the big executives came in, and they were like, "Well, we think that we can do something with this, but we think we need a couple more from you." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, okay." So I go back to Nashville, and I had had a chance encounter with Prince because he was in the same complex. This is Sunset Sound is built around this basketball court. I was in over this studio over here. Prince was over here in this other studio, but I never really invaded his territory because I didn't want him to think I was, uh, intruding on his creativity. But one night I went to the bathroom, which was just past the basketball court, and happened to see a ball running by, and I turned around. I thought it was going to be one of my friends, but it was Prince. So we had this chance encounter, and we spoke a couple of times. And once those record execs came in to check out my music and see if I was going to get to be on the label still, um, I got back to Nashville, and I just prayed about it. I was sitting in my kitchen. I said, "God, please tell me, what should I do? What can I do?" And all of a sudden, I just said, in my mind, I saw it, I heard it, I felt it, said, "Well, you just met one of the geniuses of our time, Prince." So right then, I got out a piece of paper. I wrote him a letter. Said, "Dear Prince, my name is Deborah Allen. We briefly met at Sunset Sound. We have just had an executive changeover at the label. I would be so honored. It would be merely wonderful if we could work together, write something or produce something together. Here is a cassette to let you know how long ago it was. Here is a cassette of my work that I've done so far to give you an idea of what I'm doing. Hope to hear from you soon. Love and happiness always, Deborah." I mean, and of course, I overnighted it to the studio because I knew he was still at the studio, so that was my only hope of getting it to him. I sent it to his engineer, Coke Johnson, and Coke gave it to him. And then, I mean, a few days later, I got a call from Coke, and he goes, "Hey, Deborah," he goes, "got that package from you and gave it to Prince, and he's written a song for you. He wants to produce it on you." I went, "What?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Is that a song that he had already written, or did he really write it for me?" He goes, "Oh no." He goes, "I saw it. I saw him write it. He wrote it for you." And you know what? I believe it because upstairs at my house, I have it framed. He wrote that song on the back of the tracking sheets from Sunset Sound. I was
Wow.
so honored. And, uh, just people think, people sometimes think too hard about things. Like I told the label about it, and they were like, "Well, he's going to charge way too much money. I don't know if we can do this." And I said, "Well, I said, Prince just made like $70 million or however much, $60 million of Purple Rain. However much he made, it was a lot more than I'd ever made." I said, "I don't really think he's doing this for the money. I think he just wants to do it." They go, "Well, ask him how much he's going to charge." And so I got back with Coke, and I said, "Well, the label wants to know how much this is going to cost." And you know what? I mean, in the real world of music, and especially dealing with an icon like Prince, it was just like not much at all. It was like $10,000. He played
Wow.
all the instruments. He wrote the song. He played all the instruments. And then after a while, we got to know each other. And he goes, "Who's going to do the dance mix?" And it's kind of a long song. So I said, "Well, I kind of think they think this is the dance mix." And he goes, "Oh, no, 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 no." So he did a dance mix too, just threw it
Wow.
in.
That's very cool.
Yeah, he
Very
was
cool.
very, very cool. I could talk to you for a long time about him. A magical night on the night of Sheila E.'s birthday party, and going to Club Vertigo and all kinds of fun stuff. But I'll save that for my book.